Hello, welcome to Wealth Creation Thursdays. These conversations are being hosted by My name is Wangare, and if at all you've been following us long enough, you know that we've been having this conversation on Instagram, but right now we are pivoting to from Instagram to YouTube. And what is Wealth Creation Thursdays all about? This is the place where we are going to be having conversations about money matters. I feel like for a long time, conversation about money matters, they have been taboo. And even as I was growing up and getting into my adulthood, I didn't know exactly where to begin when it came to my money matters. So I decided that let's have a conversation on money matters. Let's have a conversation online on money matters. Let's normalize having conversation even with our friends, having conversation with our family members about money matters, so that it's no longer like a taboo subject. And as we have this conversation, the conversation is sponsored by the Making Sense book. And the Making Sense book is the book that has been authored by Waceke. And by the time I encountered the Making Sense book, I was at a point where I felt like my finances needed to change. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of how my finances were going. And I knew that something has to change. And I usually say there's a Wangare before the Making Sense book and there's a Wangare after the Making Sense book. And here is why you should read the Making Sense book. In the book, Waceke shares about her story, and she shares a very powerful story. And when I heard this during one of the Centonomy Open Days that I attended, I knew that this is the place to be. I actually had envisioned being part and parcel of Centonomy, but I hadn't seen it as me working in Centonomy. I knew that I'd of course take the classes so that I can be able to better manage my finances. But Waceke in the book, she shares her story, and there was a time that she was so broke. When you're broke is when you wonder, whether how have I been spending my money? And for her, she realized that when she was employed, she used to spend 300 bob on lunch, which might seem insignificant. Even me, there are times that if at all I have a lose 200, I lose 300, that's a lunch here, that's coffee there. And she realized when she was employed, she used to spend 300 bob on lunch. In 1 month, that is 9,000 shillings. So sometimes you are unable to see the multiplication effect of the little money that we're spending here and there. In a year, that amount of money is 109,000 shillings. So sometimes the reason as to why we are unable to create wealth is because, one, we are mismanaging what we have. And two, if you know Waceke well, you know that Waceke loves going scuba diving in the ocean. For her, that is what abundance means to her. So maybe for you have a picture of what abundance means. For me, abundance means traveling. I remember taking a solo trip to Diani, and that was one of the highlights, of my adventures. And traveling to me is how I'm able to explore the world, and adventure is a really big thing for me. So this is to ask, what does adventure look like to you, or what does abundance look like to you? So sometimes the reason as to why you are unable to live abundantly is because you are mismanaging what you have. And in this book, you will also meet 3 characters. If there's one thing about Making Sense, is that it features real life personal stories of people and their money journey. So this book is actually a storybook. If at all you love listening to characters, if at all you love to read about characters, then this is a book that you'll definitely enjoy. And you can read it in one setting. You will figure out how do you leverage your non-financial assets like Douglas to make 10 million shillings. How do you navigate your finances and your marriage? You'll find faith, and you learn how she was able to do that. This book is written in a Kenyan setting, so you're able to identify with the characters of the book. We are so used to reading books about money, books about wealth creation from the books that has been written in the West. So it's conversation about 401k, and you might be reading and you're wondering, but what is this 401k really mean? So this is a book that will fit right into your shelf, and this is a book that must feature in your must-read books in the year 2025. And last but not least, She also shares about scarcity mentality, abundance mentality. How does that actually play a role in your wealth creation journey? So me, when I read this book, it's a manifesto when it comes to your finances. If at all you haven't grabbed your copy, make sure that you grab your copy. To purchase this incredible book, you can order directly from us at 1,000 shillings on the number that is down below. But also, we have partnered with several bookshops. You can find this wonderful book from Textbook Center. You can find it at Nuria Bookshop, at Half Priced Bookshop, at Prestige, Somanami, Kibanga Books, at Bookstop Yaya Center, on Amazon as a Kindle version or as a paperback version. It's also available at Sparkle Bookshop and in Uganda at Aristoc Booklets Uganda.